Material costs for home building vary widely depending on location, but a general estimate based on national averages can be provided. For framing, expect to pay approximately $3 to $4 per square foot. Roofing materials will likely cost $2.50 to $3.50 per square foot. Siding typically ranges from $3 to $4.50 per square foot. Insulation costs are generally lower, around 50 cents to $1 per square foot. Windows and doors usually range from $2 to $3 per square foot. Flooring can vary significantly depending on the material chosen, but expect to pay $3 to $5 per square foot. Drywall costs are relatively low, around 50 cents to $1 per square foot. Paint is one of the least expensive materials, costing approximately 20 cents to 40 cents per square foot. Electrical materials range from $1.50 to $2.50 per square foot. Plumbing materials also range from $1.50 to $2.50 per square foot. Heating, ventilation, and air conditioning, specifically a heat pump in this instance, will cost roughly $2 to $3 per square foot. Now, considering a 2,000 square foot home wired to minimum code with no extras, we can estimate the total material costs for each category. Framing would cost between $6,000 and $8,000. Roofing would cost between $5,000 and $7,000. Siding would cost between $6,000 and $9,000. Insulation would cost between $1,000 and $2,000. Windows and doors would cost between $4,000 and $6,000. Flooring would cost between $6,000 and $10,000. Drywall would cost between $1,000 and $2,000. Paint would cost between $400 and $800. Electrical materials would cost between $3,000 and $5,000. Plumbing materials would cost between $3,000 and $5,000. Heating, ventilation, and air conditioning would cost between $4,000 and $6,000. Therefore, the estimated total material cost per square foot ranges from $12 to $17. This information serves as an estimate only. Actual material costs may vary depending on the specific materials used, local contractor rates, and other factors. It is always advisable to consult with local contractors or suppliers for accurate pricing. The cost of lumber for framing is affected by species of wood, grade, and current market conditions. Softwoods like pine and fir are commonly used, with prices fluctuating based on supply and demand. Roofing material costs depend on the type of roofing selected, such as asphalt shingles, metal roofing, or tile. Asphalt shingles are generally the most affordable option, while metal and tile are more durable, but also more expensive. Siding costs are influenced by the material chosen, including vinyl, wood, fiber cement, and brick. Vinyl siding is typically the least expensive, while brick is the most expensive. Insulation material costs vary depending on the type of insulation, such as fiberglass bats, spray foam, or cellulose. Spray foam offers superior insulation, but is more costly than fiberglass bats. Window and door costs depend on the type of window frame, glass, and door material. Vinyl windows are generally more affordable than wood or aluminum windows. Flooring costs depend on the type of flooring selected, such as carpet, hardwood, laminate, or tile. Carpet and laminate are generally more affordable than hardwood or tile. Drywall costs are relatively consistent, with prices varying slightly based on thickness and fire resistance. Paint costs depend on the quality and type of paint selected, such as latex, oil-based, or acrylic. Higher quality paints offer better coverage and durability, but are more expensive. Electrical material costs depend on the complexity of the wiring system, the number of outlets and fixtures, and the type of wiring used. Copper wiring is more expensive than aluminum wiring. Plumbing material costs depend on the complexity of the plumbing system, the number of fixtures, and the type of pipes used. PVC pipes are generally less expensive than copper pipes. Heating, ventilation, and air conditioning costs depend on the type of system installed, the size of the unit, and the energy efficiency rating. Heat pumps are generally more energy efficient than traditional furnaces and air conditioners. The national averages presented provide a baseline for budgeting and planning purposes. Local material costs are subject to fluctuations due to regional economic conditions, transportation costs, and local demand. It is important to factor in these local variations when estimating total construction costs. Consulting with local contractors and suppliers allows for a more accurate assessment of material costs specific to the area. These professionals can provide detailed quotes based on the project specifications and local market conditions. Additionally, material costs can be influenced by the time of year, with prices often increasing during peak construction seasons. Planning ahead and purchasing materials in advance can help mitigate the impact of seasonal price increases. Furthermore, material waste can significantly impact overall project costs. Implementing strategies to minimize waste, such as accurate material ordering and careful handling, can help reduce expenses. Sustainable building practices, such as using recycled or locally sourced materials, can also affect material costs. While some sustainable materials may be more expensive upfront, they often offer long-term cost savings through reduced energy consumption and maintenance. In addition to the major categories listed, there are other miscellaneous material costs to consider, such as fasteners, adhesives, sealants, and trim. These smaller expenses can add up and should be factored into the overall budget. Contingency planning is essential to account for unexpected material cost increases or unforeseen issues that may arise during construction. Setting aside a contingency fund can provide a buffer to address these unexpected expenses without derailing the project. Value engineering is a process that involves analyzing different material options and construction methods to identify cost-saving opportunities without compromising quality or performance. This can help optimize material selection and reduce overall project costs. Regularly reviewing and updating material cost estimates throughout the construction process is crucial to ensure that the project remains within budget. Tracking actual material costs against the initial estimates allows for early identification of potential overruns and the implementation of corrective measures. Furthermore, consider the impact of material choices on the long-term maintenance and operating costs of the home. Selecting durable and energy-efficient materials can reduce maintenance expenses and lower utility bills over the lifespan of the home. Also, investigate any available rebates or incentives for using energy-efficient or sustainable building materials. These programs can help offset the initial cost of these materials and promote environmentally friendly construction practices. When obtaining quotes from contractors and suppliers, be sure to clarify the scope of work and the materials included in the price. This helps avoid misunderstandings and ensures that all necessary materials are accounted for. Additionally, be aware of any potential lead times for material delivery, especially for specialty or custom-ordered items. Delays in material delivery can impact the construction schedule and increase overall project costs. Effective communication and coordination with contractors and suppliers are essential for managing material costs and ensuring a smooth construction process. Regularly communicating project updates and addressing any concerns promptly can help prevent costly errors and delays. The cost of transportation for materials from the supplier to the construction site can also be substantial, especially for bulky or heavy items. Consider the proximity of suppliers to the site and factor in transportation costs when comparing material prices. Negotiating with suppliers for volume discounts or cash discounts can also help reduce material costs. Building strong relationships with suppliers can often lead to more favorable pricing and better service. Implementing proper material storage and handling practices on the construction site is crucial to prevent damage, theft, and loss. Secure storage areas and proper handling equipment can help protect materials and minimize waste. Regularly inspecting materials upon delivery and verifying quantities and quality is important to ensure that they meet the project specifications. Addressing any discrepancies promptly can prevent costly delays and rework. Additionally, be aware of any environmental regulations or restrictions that may apply to certain building materials, such as asbestos or lead-based paint. Complying with these regulations is essential to avoid potential fines and liabilities. Consider the impact of material choices on the overall aesthetics and design of the home. Selecting materials that complement the architectural style and enhance the curb appeal can increase the value and desirability of the property. When choosing building materials, prioritize safety and durability to ensure the long-term structural integrity and safety of the home. Selecting materials that meet or exceed building code requirements is essential for protecting occupants and preventing potential hazards. Furthermore, consider the ease of installation and maintenance when selecting building materials. Choosing materials that are easy to install and require minimal maintenance can save time and money over the lifespan of the home. Remember, the information provided is for guidance only. Always consult with qualified professionals for specific advice tailored to your project and location.